Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'll be doing for you a first impression review on a new foundation from Sleek, and it is called Vitality Foundation, and my shade to review is in VF01. So I'm just gonna quickly read you what Sleek says about this foundation. Make every day feel like a great skin day. This lightweight foundation with known hydrating ingredients including lotus flower, balm, water lily extracts can help leave skin looking flawless. Soft focused powders help smooth the surface of the skin for a more even looking complexion. Gives semi-matte finish, it's oil free and gives light to medium coverage. I can see that the main top ingredient of this foundation is water. In a standard size of 30ml, and it cost me £8.99. Just two quick disclaimers before I get on with the review. Unfortunately today I'm using artificial light as for the past few days it's been raining here, and the video just ended up really grey and blue looking. And another thing is I have dry and sensitive skin. As you can see, I've got a bit of redness as well going on, and I do tend to get sometimes throughout the day a bit shiny around my nose area. So as I've mentioned before, the shade I've got is in VF01, which is the lightest shade in the range. So I'm quite excited to use it. As I've mentioned, I've never really used Sleek foundation before, and so anything with pretty much hydrating, moisturizing in it it's got my name written all over it. I already primed my face with this primer here from Laura Geller. As you can see, it is quite liquidy. It doesn't have any scent, which is a really good thing. And let me just go ahead and apply it for you. So this first layer gave me a really light coverage, as it said it would, because it is light to medium coverage foundation. It blended out really nicely, and even though it gave me a medium, like light coverage, you can see it kind of evened out the skin tone anyway. You can see the difference, and the shade match seems pretty good as well. I'm gonna go ahead with a second layer and see if I can just build it a bit more. It blends out nicely on top of the second layer, and it definitely builds up to a medium coverage. Feels very lightweight as well on the skin, really lightweight. At the moment the finish seems to be satin, so there's a bit of dew to it, but not too much. And the shade, actually, when I look at myself in the viewfinder, it is a bit too pale, which I'm pleasantly surprised, because usually, you know, the palest shade in any drugstore range is usually too orange for me, too pink for me, or it's just not pale enough for me. So I'm pleasantly surprised with that. Let's hope it doesn't oxidize. So I'm just gonna leave it for a minute, let it set, and I'll show you up close in a minute. So this is how the foundation looks like up close. I also have decided to switch off my artificial light. You can see it looks really nice. It's very lightweight. It's not overly tacky. It is a bit tacky, but not huge amount. So I'm gonna go away and I'm gonna probably check in with you in about 4 hours. So it's been now 4 hours since the foundation have been on, and I must say I'm really liking the way it looks on my skin, even though it's not full coverage foundation, which is what I prefer usually in foundation. I really like the way it looks on my skin. So after my first part of this video, the foundation has settled to semi-matte finish, as it says on the bottle it would. It looks a tiny bit oily around my nose area, but as I said, I do tend to get a bit oily throughout the day around there sometimes. It also has settled in my fine lines around my mouth, but most of the foundations do that anyway. But it didn't settle down in my forehead lines, which is good, because I said again, most of the foundations do that, and this one didn't do it, just my mouth lines. It doesn't seem to be separating anywhere yet. It doesn't look dry anyway on my skin. So what I'll do, I'll just zoom you in so you can see how it looks like up close. But at the moment, at the 4-hour mark check, I am really enjoying the way it looks like. As you can see up close, there is a bit of settling in my mouth lines. But apart that, and there's nothing else wrong with it. It looks really nice around my jawline, around my chin. That's where usually foundations start to separate on me and look dry on me, but there's nothing like that happening on here, which is really nice. So I'm just gonna go away and check with you for my final update in about under 4 hours. Hey guys, so it's been now about 8.5 hours since the foundation's been put on, and it looks quite oily around my nose area. It has settled down in my forehead lines now. The coverage has become more sheer now, so it's kind of like melted away, but it hasn't worn off in a bad way. Some of the foundations tend to as I've mentioned in my previous update, they tend to like separate badly around my jawline and just kind of look quite dry around this area. This foundation didn't do it. It looks really nice. So overall, I did enjoy using this foundation. It was only $8.99. I love the fact it doesn't have any scent. It will be my to-go foundation on days when I don't have much of redness, I think. I love the way how it feels on my skin, how lightweight it feels. So it is a great positive. I definitely think this is not a foundation for someone with oily skin, because as I told you, it looks a bit oily around my nose area when I tend to get shiny throughout the day. Looking for a foundation, it's got light coverage, it's a very lightweight, you have dry, normal to dry skin, and like something really light. I do really recommend this foundation. It looks really nice. So yeah, and that's another good drugstore find for my mini collection of good drugstore foundations. So I'm very happy about that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this first impression review, and hopefully if you've got any questions, just ask me down below. And after that, I will see you in my next video, so take care.